I am darn near obsessed with getting the grapple mastered. Really being able to consistently do it over and over and over again. And so every now and then I come back into Blackwater Park to practice this grapple route. And for the most part, I do the same stupid thing over and over and over and completely screw it up and cancel out of it most of the time because I'm just doing garbage. But a thought occurred to me recently, and I wanted to try something different. So I did. And that difference, that difference made all the difference. That one little change that I just made. And what was that one change? That one little change that allowed me to very consistently start getting the height and distance that I need? Well, it's the direction and how hard I am pressing on my left analog stick when I'm doing my grapple. You see, in the past, when I've been working on my grapple, I've been trying to manipulate the left analog stick, the direction, the movement that I'm running. And I was trying to basically swing it in an arc, starting with moving to the right after I throw the grapple, and then swinging it around so that eventually I was facing forward. And yeah, it worked every now and then. I would get some decent height and distance, but it was incredibly inconsistent. So the one little change that I made, the one tiny change I'm doing differently that is letting me consistently hit this route, even though I am not making the full route, I'm getting some interesting routes out of it anyways, like this one where I make it most of the way and then decide to just finish it off with an extra grapple. Because, it wasn't too bad. Well, that one change that I just made, all it really was constantly pressing forward on the left analog stick. No longer pressing side to the right to try and move to the right when I'm first throwing my grapple. Just press forward. This is the real key because it turns out the grapple hook is basically just a source of gravity. And when you think about it as a source of gravity, you can manipulate how much that gravity affects you by moving towards it or away from it. If you can apply some kind of force away from the grapple hook center where it's connected, then you end up being able to stay out of that gravity field longer than you would have if you were moving directly towards it. And the best way to move any direction in this game is just to move forward. Not sideways, not backwards, just forward. So what I'm doing now is just moving my left analog stick forward. I'm only moving it forward. I'm not moving it left, I'm not moving it right, until I get past that initial hurdle, that initial fling all the way across the map like that. Once I've done that, then you can start correcting and adjusting and bunny hopping and air strafing and everything else like you've been able to do already. But that initial swing, that first throw across the map, just press forward with your analog stick, your left analog stick. Now the right analog stick, that's where you're going to generate the necessary arc around that center of gravity, around the grappling hook catch point. By using forward only on your left stick, you are now required to use the right analog stick to face a different direction, to face away from the grapple hook catch point. And when you do that, by holding forward on left and by facing away with right, you'll be able to create a much stronger pull, much more height, much more distance with your grapple. And you will be able to consistently get much higher, much further distances. From there, it's just a matter of working on your aim. And aim is relatively easy to correct once you figure out the mechanics of this. And I'm not saying I get this perfectly. Of course, I do screw it up every now and then. I'm not 100% consistent yet. But I am more frequently, more often, getting the height and the distance that I need with my grapple hook. Of course, now I've got bad habit to unlearn. I've been playing grapple hook by swinging my left stick left and right the whole time. And it's basically been a source of frustration for me. It's caused me a lot of problems, but it's become somewhat of a habit. So I'm having to unlearn that bad habit at this point. So if you're just starting out with your grapple hook and you're trying to figure out how people throw themselves halfway across the map like this, well, the secret is just press forward on your left analog stick. Use the right stick to look away and then swing the right stick back around to slowly move yourself toward looking back at the center of that grapple hook catch point. And if you can do that, well, then you end up being able to throw yourself some pretty amazingly far distances and have a lot of fun with this thing. So there you have it, another noob tip for the grapple hook if you're trying to figure it out like I am. I hope this has helped you out a little bit. It certainly helped me out to finally figure out what that major problem was and be able to correct it so simply like this and more consistently get myself across the top of that grapple throw here in Blackwater Park. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to hit thumbs up and drop some love in the comments. And as always, happy gaming.